Out there, Israel. Barakatah. Start off giving praises, blessings, honor, glory, and power be to him that sits upon the throne and to the Lamb, Yahushua HaMashiach. This video is titled Debunking Camp Doctrine. Native Americans never were Israelites. This is the 400-year anniversary. We got here on them slave ships. 400 years from getting off on them slave ships. The Native Americans didn't get here on them slave ships. We need to get rid of all that foolery. It's wickedness in the children of Israel. It's a stumbling block. You think these people didn't know that that the children of Israel was gonna wake up in the last days? You think they wasn't gonna have something fired up for us? Show you right. You know they did. Because one of the main things that gets us to lose our power and to lose our connection with the Most High is us having abominations amongst the children of Israel. We can't be mingling our seed. And just like in the books of Nehemiah and the book of Ezra, the children of Israel, the main dude that's pushing the books right now is the main dude that's chief at this abomination and this wickedness. We got proof that these people is not the children of Israel. We got to wake up our people and we got to let them know this. We go to the book of Genesis, chapter 15, verse 13. And it says, and he said unto Abram, know for a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in the land that is not theirs. We're going to hold up right there. These Native Americans, this is their land. This is what we know them for. That's why they call Native Americans. These are the original inhabitants of this land. They were here before everybody else. With all that other foolery, we can miss that. Trying to say that we were the first people here. We don't look Chinese. Those people do. Back to the scriptures. He says, stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. So that 400 years started at 1619. Slovakia. In 1619 in August 15, 400 years ago from this day, today, when the camps try to insinuate that these people is our people, what they are doing is taking away that 400-year prophecy because it never was fulfilled. It wasn't fulfilled in the original. It wasn't fulfilled in the original bondage. It wasn't. I'm talking about the original Egyptian bondage, and it wasn't fulfilled in any of the captivities in between. Perfect. So these scriptures have to be fulfilled. That's why he says unto Abraham, know for a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them 400 years. And then you go to Jeremiah 16:12, and he says, and you have done worse than your fathers, for behold, you walk every one after the imaginations of his evil heart, that they may not hearken unto me. Therefore will I cast you out of this land into a land that you know not, neither your fathers. And there shall you serve other gods day and night, where I would not show you favor. That backs up right there. So all the way up into the Babylonian captivity with Jeremiah, that right there backs it up. Like, nah, man. This is a land that the children of Israel had been brought to where them nor their fathers knew about. Can't sit there and say that the Native Americans was our people, because then there you go. You busting wide open another one of the scriptures, making another scripture void, invalid. You got to hear the way these camp doctrines is talking, and you got to realize how much illegitimacy they are adding to the scriptures, man. How much illegitimacy are they adding to the prophecies, man? Now let's get a look at these background on these Native Americans, man. See why I'm trying to say that these people, these are Chinese people. Open up your eyes and look at all Mexicans. When they get old, they look Chinese. Check it out. He says in Santa Fe, where did the first Americans come from? Most researchers agree that Paleo-Americans moved across the barren land bridge from Asia sometimes before 15,000 years ago, suggesting roots in East Asia. But just where the source populations arose has long been a mystery. Now comes a surprising twist. From the complete nuclear genome of a Siberian boy who died 24,000 years ago, the oldest complete genome of a modern human sequence to date. His DNA shows close ties to those of today's Native Americans, yet he apparently descended not from East Asians, but from people who lived in Europe or Western Asia. The findings suggest that about a third of the ancestry of today's Native Americans can be traced to Western Eurasia. Western Eurasia, keep that in mind, man. Keep that word in mind, Western Eurasia. He said, carrying on, he said, with the other 2/3 coming from Eastern Asia. So these people are 1/3 Western Eurasia and 2 parts Chinese. He said, according to a talk at a meeting here by ancient DNA expert S. Willerslev of the University of Copenhagen. It also implies that traces of European ancestry previously detected in modern Native Americans do not come solely from mixing with European colonists, as most scientists had assumed, but have much deeper roots. So that is saying right there at the end, they're saying that they not all the white that you see in these Native Americans, or the pale skin that you see in these Native Americans, it doesn't completely come from the white people showing up tripping. These people were white before the white folks showed up. Now look at that. This is Western Eurasia. This is Eurasia. The whole area, Eurasia Union. All right. You see that I think it's called the Caspian Sea and the Black Sea. Look at the area all around there, all right? Use those as landmarks. Now, look at the Khazarian Empire that's hugging the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea in the same area. Run it back. See? Khazarian. So these are not only white people, but these are the Khazarians' offspring, mixing with the Chinese. You think that the Europeans and the Chinese people living that close together never mingled? Yeah, they did. They don't talk about it. They never mention it. Nobody wants to talk about it. Not even the Israelites on them camps. Nobody wants to bring it up. No one. But at the end of the day, when you really look at it and line it up, that would explain these people's noses. Peep that. That's a fake Jew's nose. That's a Native American's nose. Look at the bridge of his eyebrows. Look how his mouth sinks in and sumps in. Look at that. Same face profile too. I know people might think that this might be, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you must have searched for these pictures of match. I'm like, nah, man. All these Native Americans got this same sloped, small forehead, big old nose, hanging over, schnauzer type beak thing going down. And you wonder, like, where did that come from? Because the Chinese people they ain't really known to be having schnauzers. But there is some people that is known to be having schnauzers. That's them vulture people. And then the Native Americans. Big old bulb. Peep that bulb. They all got the same face profile. Sloped small forehead. Sloping back. Diagonal. So these people, as it says, Americans can be traced, Native Americans can be traced to Western Eurasia. And then 2/3 Chinese. That's why dudes like this guy on the right, the Native American, looks just like this dude on the left, the Chinese. We can't, you know what I'm saying? We can't sit here and try to, they say, oh, don't judge outwardly appearance. It wasn't talking about that. It was talking about trying to call people like sinners and trying to write dudes off like, oh man, he ain't gonna, you know what I mean? He ain't gonna repent, or he ain't the type of dude that I want to talk to. You don't judge like that. He wasn't talking about writing and signing off your own two eyes, your own two witnesses that the Most High gave you. When did we start not trusting our own two eyes? Like, we can use common sense. It's called depth and perception. Using your depth and perception and your common sense, this Native American homeboy on the left looks just like the brother or the cousin of this Chinese president on the right. And like I said, when they get old, they definitely show what's really going on. These are Chinese people. I still get mixed up when I look at this picture. I'm not sure what I'm looking at. I'm not sure if I'm looking at a Chinese woman on the right, or if I'm looking at a Mexican woman on the left, or a Native American. I don't know what I'm looking at. They all just look like Mexicans, honestly. And then there we go. Got an old Mexican. Put him in the mix. That looks like the brothers, or even the twin of this old Chinese dude. They look the exact same. We got to start looking and using our common sense. The 12 tribe charters, the One West Doctrine is not correct. They're trying to bring in strangers, bringing in heathens into our heritage, giving them glory, promising life to those who don't live, and condemning to death those who don't die. You ain't gonna never be able to write off the children of Israel and replace that 144 with these Chinese dudes. Ain't nobody rocking with them. They're gonna own Mexico. They get to own South America and the Holy Land. You tripping? But man, you gotta open up your eyes, man, and start thinking. Peep this one more witness to that. This is something it was on News 24. He says DNA links Native Americans to China. Washington president. Slovakia. Washington. Present-day Asians and Native Americans are descended from a group of people who were already in China 40,000 years ago, according to their weird science they do. He said, according to the analysis of fossil DNA published this week, the genetic analysis showed that the early modern human in Beijing had already diverged genetically from the mitochondrium, that word, of modern day Europeans. I can barely see that word. He said the researchers took nuclear and mitochondrial DNA from a leg bone found in the Tianyuan cave in China in 2001. He said, using this, they reconstructed the genetic profile of the leg's owner, a person who lived at a very interesting time in the history of modern humans. The researchers said in a statement on Monday, this individual lived during an important evolutionary transition when early modern humans who shared certain features with earlier forms such as Neanderthals were replacing Neanderthals and something I can barely see that word, Slakia. He says, who later became extinct, said lead author, Debunking something, of the Max Planck Institute of Evolutionary Anthropology. The genetic mitochondria from the bone show similarities to genetic profiles from modern-day Asians and Native Americans, the researchers explained. That's the main thing right there. The genetics from the bone showed similarities to genetic profiles from modern-day Asians, Chinese dudes, and Japanese dudes, and Native Americans. They're the same people, the researchers explained. But the analysis showed that the early modern human near Beijing had already diverged genetically from the ancestors of modern Europeans, white folks. These are the mingled people that's mentioned in the book of Ezekiel and Jeremiah, man. These are the people. The mingled people. Go look it up in the Zondervan's dictionary. And it says, I'm gonna look at mingled people right here, man. Mingled people. It says, the reference is to non-Israelite people who left Egypt with the Israelites. In Jeremiah 25:20 and 50:37, the term is used for the mixed blood of certain of Israel's enemies. That's the Moabites, and they're mixed with Edomites. You're not supposed to be sitting around here swirling with the heathens, swirling with the enemies, man. That's a no-no. You gotta cut it out. It's an abomination. It's wickedness amongst the children of Israel, man. You're causing us to go through a plague. You're causing the children of Israel to stay cursed. Y'all got to stop this, man. This is foolishness. All that folly. Over here, feeding off your lust. Just the other day, man, we went up over there into the IUIC, try to go over there and try to see what's happening over there with them niggas. Salakia, but you know what I'm saying? They was acting like just a bunch of niggas. They wasn't acting like brothers. Try to search us. But one thing I noticed, I was like, man, what's up with all these Mexicans? I look up all these I saw these Mexican women tell me why they dressed like Virgin Mary. Yeah, I said it. They were dressed, they were walking around, literally dressed just like that graven image Virgin Mary. That's what happens when you give those idol worshipers, those people that are crazy about idolatry, a lie, telling them you give them a false identity of our heritage. That's what happens, man. These people try to turn themselves into a walking idol. They can't get away from that idol worship. They are themselves an idol. We're gonna get on, man. I'm gonna have to get onto another one, man. Do another video because, man, we're gonna have to cover about that idol. And those people right there is a walking idol. The word asar, man, you're just not supposed to be dressing up as an idol. But anyways, man. He says, in addition, the population of Neanderthals and Denuvian DNA was no higher than that of modern-day humans in the region. Scientists had previously found fossils of people from Eurasia 40 to 50,000 years ago who looked like modern-day humans. But the researchers emphasized that the genetic relationship between these early modern humans and today's people had not yet been flushed out. Anyways, the point was, those Chinese people and those white people mixed and made, and those Native American looking people. And them Europeans that they talking about was the Ashkenazis, the Khazarians, the quote unquote fake Jewish people. Now run over there to Ezekiel 3 and 4. We're gonna let Ezekiel smash this one, bust it wide open now, man. We're gonna let the scriptures speak. I just touched that real quick, you know what I'm saying, just to let you guys know that, man, ain't nobody agreeing with that. And you cannot deceive yourself by denying what your eyes see. Look at them, the Chinese people. Watch this, Ezekiel 3 and 4. He says, and he said unto me, Son of man, go, get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak with my words unto them. For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech and of a hard language, but to the house of Israel. You see all these people, all these different nationalities right here, all these 12 tribe charters listed on this map right here, all these areas. It goes along with the 12 tribe chart. All these this is a map of the Spanish speaking countries. These are all kind of different people.
This is a
speaking Spanish. These are many of people speaking a hard language, because you don't see much brothers speaking Spanish. They try to flip this around, make it seem like, oh yeah, this scripture means when we try to talk to y'all brothers out there, and how y'all brothers don't be listening to us and getting what we saying. It's almost as if we speaking a different language to y'all, or as if y'all y'all understand a different language. Like, that's not what he says. He says, you are not sent to a people. He's specifying who he's talking about. Now he's about to let you know, like, man, this is a race he's talking about, of a strange speech. Whoever this people is, these are a people of a strange speech. That's the title. And of a hard language. But to the house of Israel. See how that map matches? We got West Indians, we got Dominicans, Guatemalans, Panama, Cubans, Puerto Ricans. These are all kinds of different people. Look, he says, not too many people of a strange speech. Not too many people, like Dominicans, Panamanians, Guatemalans, Chileans, Colombians, Mexicans. He's like, you tripping. He said, not too many people of a strange speech and of a hard language, whose words you cannot understand. Not words that they can't understand by you speaking. He says, these not to a gang. This is a many of people of a strange speech. Can you read anything on their sign right there? Does any black dude honestly know what that sign says? What any of these signs are saying? You don't. Our people don't know Spanish like that. Yeah, of course, we got some people that slip in through the cracks. We got some exceptions to the rule, but man, across the board, generally, we don't speak Spanish. In America, as Judah, the people waking up the people. The people that's waking up the people don't speak Spanish. He says, not to many people of a strange speech and of a hard language, Spanish, whose words thou cannot understand, because they be doing blah, 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 blah. Surely, had I sent you to them? Look at that. Most High didn't send you to them. Do you know what that sign says? No. He said, surely, had I sent you to them? Look at these people. If the Most High had sent you to some people like this, we would have already been in the kingdom. The kingdom would have never fell off. These people are vehement about idol worship, man. He said they would have hearkened unto you. Because look, even all the way from the churchgoers, all the way down to the criminal-minded, sadistic people. He got the devil on his back, but on his stomach, he got that idol. worship. You can catch him standing up in that church of that Lady of Guadalupe. He said if they would have sent, he said if I would have sent you up to them, they would have hearkened unto you, man. See that? They would have hearkened unto you. Because they hearkening unto their forefathers. You see this? This is what they was getting down with. All that is on his back, that's a vato. All that is on that vato's back almost looks Chinese, but no, it's the same. They worship the same things. The Chinese and the Native Americans, they got down the exact same way because they are the exact same people. They worship dragons and ancestors and statues and pyramids. He said, if I would have sent you to them, they would have hearkened unto you. Because these people they're already geared to ready to go worship something. They don't care what it is. They'll worship any damn thing, man. He said, but the house of Israel will not hearken unto you, for they would not hearken unto me. For he says, why? Because all the house of Israel are imputed and hard-hearted. Imputed, that means rude, disrespectful, hard-hearted, not easy to be turned to compassion. Our people is known for that cutthroat mentality. Our people is known for that coldness of heart. We are the ones that need to be built up because we the ones that have the houses that's been destroyed, living in broken homes. And I ain't talking about, you know what I'm saying, nobody else has not come from a broken home of another nationality, but we as the people, as the poster face for that. There's something about us that's different than everybody. Everything that everybody else goes through is 10 times worse with us. These people, they just go through phases in their life. This is how we start off, and a lot of us end off in these wretched conditions, man. We need something. They say that they say that the Native Americans is our people, but they don't have no problem getting along. You ain't never seen no quinceañera get shot up. You ain't never seen the police show up to the quinceañera because somebody over there cutting up too much. But they know that we can't get together. Every time we get together, it's a fight. He said, behold, he said, I have made your face. Read it on Ezekiel 3:8. He says, behold, I have made your face strong against their faces, and your forehead strong against their foreheads. As an adamant, harder than flint, have I made your forehead. Because we bold now. We ain't afraid of none of these dudes no more, man. And you got to be that way. Because the people that we got to go and talk to don't look like they are some inviting type of people. And they are stubborn. They hard-headed. They stiff-necked. But he said, I made you hard-headed. More hard-headed than them, but on the scriptures. More hard-headed about talking to them and teaching them the truth. With all knowledge, with the spirit, with long-suffering, with patience. When you know how to put fire out with water like that, you stronger than them. Your head is stronger. It's harder than a flint. You take an adamant like a diamond, smack it up against the flint. Flint turn into dust. He says, fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks. Because our people look crazy. He said, though they be a rebellious house. Back that up. Though they be a rebellious house. He said, fear not. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, all my words that I speak unto you, receive in your heart and hear with your ears. You need to pay attention because these things that you got, Most High is letting you know that, man, somebody ain't using these things as they read these scriptures and as they teach. Receive this in your heart and hear with your ears. You won't hear camps reading none of these scriptures right here, man. They always skip over them, man. He says, and go get you to them of the captivity unto the children of your people. You said that you Judah? Well, then that's who you're supposed to be waking up. You know who was over here. You know who's over here in this country that needs to be built up. You need to be building up your house in your backyard. Why you over here trying to work on Mexicans when you still got that plank in your eye? Looking at these Mexicans spec when they got a whole country over there. They got a military over there. If anybody comes through and do too much to these Mexicans over here, I'm talking about these Edomites start pressing on these Native Americans and these Mexicans too hard. You know that Mexico got a whole military lined up to come up over here to help them. We ain't got nobody. We the ones that need to be saved. Mexicans do not need to be saved from America. They can go to Mexico. They can go to Panama. They can go to Brazil. Everywhere else that they came from, they can go right back. And the people that they got over there looks just like them. So if it's too hard for them, they need to just figure that out. Because you get what you deserve. You reap what you sow. Them people was over here doing all kinds of crazy stuff over here. Like I showed you on that picture with them dragons in them temples. They was killing people and eating people in honor for them dragons on those temples. You think they wasn't supposed to be judged? You over here boo-hooing and feeling sorry for them because Esau done tripped? That is Esau's blessing. Get everything by tripping. Who you think he's supposed to be tripping on? Plants? It was these heathen nationalities that we supposed to have been whooping up on, putting in line, but we didn't do it because we lost the ball, so he let them do it. You better stop tripping. He said, go get to the people of your people, the children of your people, and speak unto them, not them.
Release this beat today.
And tell them. And tell them. What? How about these folks right here? Nope. Not them. Tell them.
Release this beat today.
He said, thus says Yahweh Allah Anam. Whether they will hear or whether they will forbear. So we're running back over there to into the Apocrypha. Go to Sirach 37 and 19. He says, there is one that is wise and teaches many, and yet is unprofitable unto himself. You see that?
On the track, boy.
He said, there is one that is wise and teaches many. Got the book in his hand, got a little bit of wisdom. He part of the little congregation. He think he knows about rocking with the Most High, but yet these all people unprofitable unto himself. They all the same thing right here, man. That church dude right here with the 501c3 is lined up with these church dudes right here, the 501c3. That's why they have the same type of demeanor. That's why they got the same approach. What I mean by that is everybody is included. Oh, yo, except for the big bad white man. Come on now. That's like they just took Mormonism, Seventh-day Adventists, with a little bit of some Muslim doctrine. Gave it back to the Israelites to deceive them in the last days. That 12 tribe chart, but if you look at our people, this stuff is still unprofitable. They actually, as the children of Israel been waking up, these people been kicking up more. Why? Why is the Most High allowing these people to be able to kick up more on us? It's because we got men out there that got wisdom and they are teaching too many. What I mean by that, not too many Israelites teaching too many other nationalities that they are Israelites, which remains unprofitable unto himself. Actually don't get anything out of that. When you become unprofitable, you're taking losses. That's why these people still talking about stop killing us, getting beat in the streets. Then he says at 20, he says, there is one that shows wisdom with words and is hated. So he don't have the book. But he's speaking that wisdom with words, that false wisdom of that Quran, the reciting. You recite words. So he be showing a little bit of wisdom, talking about separating, identifying the white man as the devil. But yet, he was hated. Why? Because he was destitute of all wisdom. He was destitute of that true wisdom. The wisdom that he's talking about, not the wisdom of words, of them vain speech. He's talking about the wisdom. He was destitute of the wisdom of the book. He didn't have the Ruach Kadosh because he was over there rocking with that disgusted looking faced Ishmaelite. He just looking at Malcolm X looking like, man, this is one of the worst pictures I've seen of that brother, man, honestly, man. He just looked so neutered and emasculated at this moment. He said, at 21, he said, why is this dude been destitute of all wisdom? He said, because grace is not given him of the Most High. Grace has not been given of the Most High. This dude has received grace from the government, received grace from the false set of doctrines of the enemy's safety net. He says, because he is deprived of all wisdom. He doesn't believe, and he had to rock the book. He was rocking that Islam, talking about Honorable Muhammad, whatever. Same mistake as these brothers right here, man. Teaching many. Looking like, just confusion. The Most High is not the author of confusion. Right there, I gotta wonder already, like, who is this white dude? Is like, and you gonna tell me that white dude right there is Mexican? And like, that's even hard to believe. But if he is Mexican, okay, but he definitely ain't black, ain't never been black. You are of your fathers, their forefathers is Chinese dudes or white guys, period. Going to 22, he says, and another is wise unto himself, and the fruits of his understanding is commendable in his mouth. We got dudes like Nat Turner. He the one that, you know what I'm saying, he rose up, he used the scriptures, he did that with the Most High though. It wasn't a time yet, because the 400-year captivity wasn't over, but the Most High did let this man's name live on. And the fruit of his understanding is commendable in his mouth. Because he was saying the word. He said, a wise man, listen to this, camp out there. Listen, a wise man instructs his people, and the fruits of his understanding fails not. Talking about the Messiah on that one, man. I can give it up on him for that one. He said he ain't sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel, unto the blind, unto the maimed. We the one that don't know who we are and where we came from. We maimed. We the one that's been broken and had no repair. Lost. We have no direction and no path. These Native Americans, they got reservations and they get checks. They can build their own world if they wanted to. But they ain't the children of Israel. They ain't set apart. They not like us. Because if they would have gave that to us, we would have never had to come back into their cities ever again. So what we got to do is stop teaching other nationalities. If they are not considered black, they are not Israel, according to the scriptures. And we got some outside sources, which is your two eyeballs. All camps must repent. Do not follow their doctrine about the Native Americans being the children of Israel. Do not follow that. If you see anybody coming at you in any of these Walmarts, anybody coming at you, any of these barbershops or any of these places, man, and they trying to teach you something that the Messiah was not teaching, you must count him as accursed. did not teach over here in the Americas. Paul wrote no letters to the Americas. They are not the children. God. You already know. Finished it up with Daniel 12. Because this message ain't always for everybody, man. But this message is definitely to the children of Israel. Not all camp dudes is gonna peep it, because they got some type of agenda, or the Most High has not given them the mercy of the repentance for them to be able to repent and turn from their sins. All praise to the Most High for those who hear this word and be able to accept it, and to be able to shield yourself from the false doctrine and the lies that comes from the devil himself, the serpent seed, the Edomite nation. Reading from Daniel 12 and 10, he says, I start at 8, and I heard, but I understood not. Then said I, Oh, my Yeshua, what shall be the end of these things? And he said, Go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end. Many shall be purified, and made white and tried. But the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. So if you ain't getting this scripture, you need to go and look at your life. If you ain't getting what I said in this video, go and look at your life again, man. Back it up. Repent. Try again. Check the video out afterwards. You see it. If not, you have been reserved for damnation. And I'm out.